those who are not in the field of STEM, or developing technology, um, people who people who are more comedians or actors or people who are, who produce DVDs about history, and that's cool, that's all good. But sometimes you have to know two things. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses, that you're what you can really talk about very well. For instance, I don't talk about politics very well, because it's not my forte. Somewhat confusing to me, some cases. But I'm learning. I'm learning a lot, and understanding history is helping a lot. I don't talk about football because I don't know much about football. I like certain teams, and that's all I know. But when you are a person who just had a conference this year, September, during a pandemic, which is absolutely ridiculous to do, it's insane to do that. And back earlier this year, when you're saying that COVID is not that bad, it's not really killing Black people like that. And then and even though this video is old, it is still indication of the first thing I said, know your strengths and weaknesses, know your audience, know who you're talking to. Your audience is not, they're not as, I guess I'm trying to be nice about this. They're not as well-versed and knowledgeable about transhumanism enough. I don't think that they even read articles from the sources that I've put in this video, to know about the basics of transhumanism and what it really means. One thing I want us as Black people to stop doing is when there's a scientific or technological topic on the table, we flip it into some conspiracy theory BS, and it becomes, man's out to get you. They're going to get you. And look what they're doing over here. And look what they're doing over here. The whole video, this transhumanism video, in one sentence was a string of, different things that were not meshing well together, did not have connections. The broth that should have been there to bring all the elements of the soup together was very watery and loose. I'll leave it at that. I have timestamps, and I also have the video here linked below. At certain timestamps that I have in yellow on this slide and the subsequent slides, I give a little commentary. So up to 28 minutes and 41 seconds, TN, you can figure out who TN is. He's discussing several topics. None of them are relevant to the topic at hand. The title was transhumanism. But none of them are relevant to this topic, okay? So if you're watching this from the beginning, you have to wait almost 30 minutes to get to the topic of transhumanism. At 28 minutes, 41 seconds, transhumanism begins to really be mentioned, but it's characterized with transsexuality and transgenders. Just because the word says trans, the prefix is trans, doesn't mean that these all go together. Okay? And if it does, let's say transsexuality, transgenderism, goes together with transhumanism, what the hell are you gonna do about it? How are you gonna stop it? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really gonna stop that? I hear you making another DVD, and that's fine. But is that going to stop what they're doing? If that's the case, if they're doing transsexuality and transgenderism, and that's linked with transhumanism just because they have a same prefix, come on now, let's get out of third grade. All right, so he goes on to talk about Gabriel Rothblatt. He's a Black politician in Florida, Democrat. The title of the magazine article in Time magazine was "The Rapture of the Nerds." It was published April 2014. He talked about that, mentioned it. I guess the guy he doesn't like him, or he's kind of weird or something. I don't know. The picture of him on the magazine, I think he was doing yoga or something, but he's a politician. And Gabriel Rothblatt's parents are Bina Aspen, a Black woman, and Martine Rothblatt, a white male, who is a transsexual male who is a woman now. So his dad is a man who is a woman now. Okay. And he made a point to say that Bina Aspen is a Black woman who's also from Compton. Okay. We go on. More timestamps at 31 minutes, 37 seconds. He links transhumanism to transgender, transsexuality, and to the pharmaceutical industry. Now, I could understand that because there are actually quite a lot of transgender clinical trials on the way for different treatments, different, counseling and things like that. I don't know what that has to do with transhumanism. Like, transhumanism would be where AI would be involved in the development of the pharmaceuticals for these people, but there's no connection there. Moving on. Based on the live chat replay that I saw, I honestly don't think the audience is at the level to understand the leaps and bounds being taken to weave the story together. My apologies if there's things are misspelled or whatnot, or the grammar is bad. I wrote this like 2 a.m., so sorry for that. But that is a true statement. I'm not taking this back. I don't think that his audience is at that level, and I was trying to be nice about it. I don't think they're at the intellectual level or have the intellectual capacity to understand what transhumanism is and understand that he's taking leaps and bounds and just tying things together that don't go together. Okay. He talked about Elon Musk. He went on to talk about the repository for germinal choice, the Iranian Faridun M.S. Fandiari, aka FM 2030, the frozen father of modern transhumanism. He talked about Bina and Martine at a seminar or some kind of TED talk. I'm not sure. He talked about the robot Bina 48. It's an android in action at a symposium or some kind of tech conference. And about an hour, 10 minutes, 50 seconds, he talked about, or he showed videos of a Boston Dynamic robots doing different tasks that they're programmed to do. So let me go back to this. If and or since they are doing these things with transhumanism, these different projects, my question once again is, what are you going to do to stop it? Not a damn thing, because there's really nothing you can do. I didn't think that from the inception of my channel, I should have said it in the description box, in the pinned comments, in the title of my videos. When I present certain things about technology, about science, about certain companies, about different developments that are occurring, and I tell you, like, there's an industry for this, there's a company that's sponsoring this, there's a trial on this, there's a study on this. I didn't think I had to tell my people that perhaps you might want to look this company up and invest in this company, maybe invest some time reading about this company, see where the company is on the stock market, see if it's available on the stock market. I didn't think I had to say that. But once again, I will say, when I go to other groups and I talk to them, and I don't even talk to them about, this type of stuff, they talk to me about it. We go back and forth. We have different ideas about things, and we invest in different companies, how we see fit for our interests, personal interests or professional interests, right? I don't have to say that to other groups when I'm presenting something. I don't have to say, hey, maybe we should invest in this, or have you invested in this? What are they looking like? What are their their quarterly numbers looking like? What are their yearly numbers looking like? What do they look like this week? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't have to say that with other groups. I have to say that with my own group, because we are so scared about science and technology. It's sickening to me. And it's sad because, you're missing out on money. You're missing out on opportunities. You're missing out on learning different things. You're missing out on perhaps putting your children into, these fields. And I for one, right now, with the current administration we have and president in office, STEM is expanding. It's been expanding for a long time, but it's really expanding. And I'm not saying that in support of any presidential candidate or against any presidential candidate. I'm just saying that in general, I see what I see. Okay. I just hope that we can be more objective about these topics and read for yourself. Don't believe everything I put up here. Believe what you have looked through and understood and really taken the time to absorb. But that's it for me, you all. I don't want to go on too long. I know I probably already have. Anyways, I will talk to you all in the next video. And that's it. If you want to get a copy of this PowerPoint presentation, I'll be glad to send it to you. Please just email it here to this email address. I have other social media, Facebook, IG, Cashapp NikoleAli. You can hit me up anytime or night, day or night, anytime, day or night. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll holler at y'all later. Have a good night. Peace.